Yeah, my name is Ashutosh Singh, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department. Today, this is my third lecture of heat transfer. In this lecture, we will discuss the concept of heat transfer through a plane wall and electrical analogy based on the plane wall. So, heat conduction equation for Cartesian coordinate system. There are three types of system which is generally used for calculating the heat transfer rate. The first system is known as Cartesian coordinate system. The second system is known as cylindrical coordinate system, and the third system is known as spherical coordinate system. The first system, that is Cartesian coordinate system, is generally used to calculate the heat transfer in x direction, y direction and z direction also. But in case we derive a equation for a spherical coordinate system, it is used to calculate the heat transfer for a sphere. In case of cylindrical coordinate system, the cylindrical equation is generally used to calculate the heat transfer rate in a cylindrical form shape. So, in this slide, we will discuss about the basic heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinate system. So, what is heat conduction equation? So, let's discuss. Fourier law of heat conduction shows that to estimate the heat transfer through a medium of thermal conductivity and a uniform cross-sectional area, one needs the spatial variation of temperature. In addition, the temperature at any point in the medium may vary with time also. The spatial and temporal variation are obtained by solving the heat conduction equation. The heat conduction equation is obtained by applying the first law of thermodynamics and the Fourier law to an element control volume of the conducting medium. In rectangular coordinates, the general heat conduction for a conducting medium with constant thermophysical property is given by 1 upon alpha del T by del tau is equal to del square T divided by dx square plus del square T divided by dy square plus del square T divided by dz square plus qg upon k. For deriving these equation, we assume the certain parameters. They are, number first, we assume that the heat transfer take place in x direction and y direction and z direction also, and there is a uniform heat generation inside the volume. So in this equation, del square T divided by dx square is the amount of heat exchange in x direction, and del square T divided by dy square is the net amount of heat transfer in y direction, and del square T divided by dz square is the net amount of heat transfer in z direction. And the next term is Qg. Qg is a uniform heat generation inside the element where K is equal to the thermal conductivity of the material, and the conductivity of the material is constant throughout the space. The term alpha, the alpha is known as thermal diffusivity, and it is the ratio of the thermal conductivity divided by the product of rho c, where rho is equal to density and c is equal to specific capacity. So del T divided by del tau is a change in temperature with respect to time. So this Fourier equation, this steady state equation, this equation is known as general equation for heat transfer in Cartesian coordinate system. So in the above equation, alpha is equal to rho by k by rho c is a property of the medium, and it is called as thermal diffusivity, and the term Qg is the rate of heat generation per unit volume inside the control volume, and T is the time. Thermal resistance of a plane wall. So we will discuss about the thermal resistance of a plane wall. We will discuss about the thermal resistance of a composite wall, thermal resistance of a conduction, thermal resistance of a convection, and the thermal resistance of a radiation. So the equation that is Q dot is equal to T1 minus T2 divided by R. From this, in this slide we show the Q dot is equal to T1 minus T2 divided by R, where T1 minus T2 is known as the thermal difference या temperature difference, and R is equal to the thermal resistance of a wall. It may be a composite wall, it may be a spherical wall, it may be a cylindrical wall. So there is an electrical analogy with conduction heat transfer that can be exploited in problem solving. The analog of the Q is current, and the analog of the temperature difference, that is T1 minus T2, is voltage difference. From this perspective, the slab is a pure resistance of heat transfer, and we can define the Q is equal to T1 minus T2 divided by R. So where R is equal to the thermal resistance, and it is defined as the ratio of the length of the wall divided by the thermal conductivity and the A, where A is equal to area of the wall. So the thermal resistance R increase as L increases and A decreases and as K decreases. So the concept of a thermal resistance circuit allow ready analysis of problem such as a composite slab. In the composite slab, as shown in the figure, next slide, as shown in the figure, the heat flux is a constant with respect to x. The resistance are in series, and the sum of the total resistance, that is R, is equal to R1 plus R2. If TL is the temperature at the left surface and TR is the temperature of the right surface, then the heat transfer rate is given by the following equation. Q is equal to TL minus TR divided by L, or TL minus TR divided by R1 plus R2. In this figure, we see that there is a two plane wall having the thermal conductivity 1 and 2. The first wall is represented by 1 and the second wall is represented by the Q, and the net rate of heat transfer, this is Q dot, is constant throughout the wall, or we can say the rate of heat transfer through the wall 1 should be equal to the rate of heat transfer through the wall 2. So the net rate of heat transfer, this is Q dot, is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature divided by the total resistance. So in this case, this is a series connection. There are two types of connection. The first figure shows the series connection, and the second figure shows the parallel connection. So we can use both concepts, series connection and parallel connection. In this particular case, this plane wall having 1 and 2 are composed by in series manner. So in that case, the total resistance should be equal to R1 plus R2, where R1 is equal to the resistance of the wall 1 and R2 is equal to the resistance of the wall 2. Then the final heat transfer rate from that case, this is Q dot, is equal to TL minus TR divided by the summation of the total resistance, where TL minus TR the temperature at the left side and TR is the temperature of the right side, and the TL, this is the temperature at the left side, is greater than the temperature of the right side. If the temperature of the right side is greater than the temperature of the left side, then heat transfer take place from TR to TL. So the next example is a wall with a dissimilar material such as a bolt in an insulating layer. In this case, the heat transfer resistance are in parallel. So if we talk about the parallel connection, in parallel connection the total resistance should be equal to 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. But in case of series connection, the total resistance should be equal to R1 plus R2. So if we calculate the final heat transfer rate from the composite slab, this is Q dot is equal to TL minus TR divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So there are two types of connection. The first is known as parallel connection and the second is known as series connection. We are solving a composite wall problem. In this case, we assume a composite wall having a 3 layers. The middle layer is known as insulation layer, and having thickness of 0.1 millimeter. The right side layer is 0.03 meter and the left side layer is 0.03 meter, having the temperature which is maintained at 150 degrees centigrade, and the last temperature of the right side, this is T4, is equal to 10 degree centigrade. So in this diagram it is clear that the three wall, this is wall 1, this is insulation wall 2, and the layer 3 are connected in a series manner. So in that case the total resistance is R1 plus R2 plus R3, where R1 the thermal resistance of the plain wall 1, R2 is equal to the resistance of the insulation layer, and R3 is equal to the resistance of the third layer, where T1, T2, T3, T4 are the temperature of the all layers. T1 is equal to temperature of the left layer, T4 is equal to temperature of the right layer, and the temperature T1 is greater than the temperature T2 is greater than the temperature T3 greater than temperature T4, then the heat transfer rate flows from T1 to T4. So the overall thermal resistance is given by R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, and from the previous slide we calculated the R1 is equal to L by Ka. So in that case R1 is equal to L1 divided by K1 A1 plus L2 divided by K2 L2 plus L3 divided by K3 L3, where L1 L2 L3 are the layer thickness of the different layers, and A1 A2 A3 are the areas, and finally K1 K2 K3 are the thermal conductivity of the different material. So the thermal conductivity of the K brick, that this is the thermal conductivity of the brick material, this is 0.7 watt per meter Kelvin. The thermal conductivity of the insulation layer, this is K1 K3 should be is equal to 0.07 watt per meter Kelvin, and the areas of A1 A2 A3 is equal to A. In that case the thermal resistance R1 and R3 should be equal, and it is equal to L1 upon K1, where L1 is equal to 0.03 meter divided by 0.07 watt per meter Kelvin, and the final answer of R1 is 0.42 meter square Kelvin per watt. As similarly the thermal resistance of the insulation layer R2, this is L2 by K2, and it is equal to 0.01 meter divided by 0.07 watt per meter Kelvin, and it should be equal to 0.14 meter square Kelvin 4. So finally if we calculate the heat transfer rate from the composite slab, this should be equal to Q dot divided by A, and it is equal to T1, that this is highest temperature, minus T4, this is lowest temperature, divided by the total resistance. So T1 minus T4 is equal to 140 Kelvin divided by the total resistance, this is equal to 0.98 meter square Kelvin per watt. So the final answer is 142 watt per meter square. So the heat transfer rate in that case from the composite slab is 142 watt per meter square. And the next diagram is show the temperature gradient. From this figure it is clear that the gradient of 1 and 2 and the gradient of 3 and 4 is equal, and the gradient of 2 and 3 is less than the gradient of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next is one dimensional steady state equation. So consider a plane wall having 3 layers. The inside layer is maintained at a hot fluid, the outside layer is maintained at a cold fluid, having the hot fluid temperature T infinite 1 and the cold fluid temperature T infinite 2, and the middle layer, this is the middle layer having a thermal conductivity K, which is maintained at Ts1 and Ts2, where Ts1 and Ts2 are the temperature of the inner layer and the outer layer. So from the differential equation of the heat diffusion is d upon dx multiplied by k dt by dx should be equal to 0. So differentiate this equation with a constant. The above equation may be integrated twice to obtain the general solution. So the final general solution is Tx is equal to C1x plus C2, where C1x and C2x are the constant, and for calculating the value of C1 and C2 we apply the boundary condition. So C1 comma C2 are the constant, and to obtain the constant of integration we apply the boundary condition, and the boundary conditions are at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L, in which case at x is equal to 0 t is equal to ts1 and x is equal to L, TL is equal to ts2. So after putting the value of boundary condition in the fundamental equation we obtain the final results, that is the overall heat transfer rate. This is Q is equal to Ts1 minus Ts2 divided by L by Ka. So as similarly we have derived the overall heat transfer rate from the previous slides. So in that case the heat transfer rate, this is Q is equal to Ts1 minus Ts2 is equal to, this is a temperature gradient, L by K, this is a thermal resistance. Topic is the radial heat conduction through a cylinder. For calculating the heat transfer through a cylinder we generally use the equation of a cylindrical coordinate system. As we discussed previously, there are three types of system: spherical system, the cylindrical system and Cartesian coordinate system. So in that case we use cylindrical coordinate system. So we assume a cylindrical having a layer of R1 and R2, and which is maintained at a T1 T2. If the length of the cylinder is L and which is maintained at T1 and T2, so one frequently encountered problem is that of heat transfer through the wall of a pipe or through the insulation placed around a pipe. Consider the cylinder shown in the figure. The pipe is either insulated on the ends or it is sufficient length L that heat losses through the end is neglected. Assume there is no heat source within the wall of the tube and the temperature of T1 is greater than the temperature of T2. So heat will flow outward radially from the inside radius R1 to the outside radius R2. The process will be described by the Fourier law. So for the differential equation governing the heat diffusion is 1 upon R del by dr multiplied by R dt by dr is equal to 0. This is a fundamental equation of a cylindrical coordinate system where small r is equal to the arbitrary radius, dt by dr is equal to small incremental change in temperature with respect to radius. So and k is equal to thermal constant. So after integrating and putting the values of the boundary condition, final answer is Q is equal to Ts1 minus Ts2 divided by L divided by Ka. This is a heat transfer rate for a plain wall, but in that case the heat transfer rate is expressed by the T1 minus T2 divided by log R1 divided by R2 divided by 2 pi KL, where R1 comma R2 are the radius of the cylinder. This is R1. R1 is equal to inside radius of the cylinder, R2 is equal to outside radius of the cylinder. So finally the heat transfer rate for a cylinder is Ts1 minus Ts2 divided by L and R1 divided by R2 whole divided by 2 pi KL, where K and L are the conductivity and the length of the cylinder. So next is composite cylindrical wall. If a cylindrical wall is composed by the 2 and 3 layer, in that case this is known as composite cylindrical wall. In this figure we see that the composite cylindrical wall having a 2 layers having radius of R1, R2, R3, which is maintained at T1, T2 and T3, and the thermal conductivity of the wall material is K1 and K2. So in that case both the layers of the cylindrical walls are connected in a series manner. So in that case the thermal resistance of the cylindrical wall is equal to the R1 plus R2, and where R1 is equal to the thermal resistance of the first layer and R2 is equal to the thermal resistance of the second layer, and R1 is equal to ln R1 divided by R2 2 pi KL1, and the thermal resistance of the wall cylinder 2, this is known as ln R2 by R3 divided by 2 pi L K2. K1 K2 are the thermal conductivity of the wall material. So finally the composite cylindrical wall having the heat transfer rate Q, this is equal to T initial minus T final divided by the summation of the total resistance. So we can use both the concept that is known as series concept and parallel concept. So cylindrical are generally placed in a series manner. In that case, the total resistance should be equal to the R1 plus R2 plus R3. So in general, the heat transfer, in general case, the heat transfer rate for a cylindrical coordinate system or a cylindrical wall is equal to the initial temperature minus final temperature divided by the summation of the total thermal resistance of the cylindrical wall material. We assume the electrical analogy for the different cases. So if we talk about the Cartesian coordinate system, the next is the cylindrical coordinate system, next is conduction through sphere, and the next is Q. So there are the 5 different cases. The first case electrical, the second case is Cartesian, cylindrical, conduction through sphere, and last is convection. We assume the heat transfer rate in all the cases are Q dot Q dot Q dot. In first cases, in case of Cartesian coordinate system, the thermal resistance is L divided by Ka, where L is the length of the wall, K is equal to conductivity of the wall material, and A is equal to area of the wall material. And in case of cylindrical conduction, the thermal resistance is ln R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi KL, where R1, R2 are the radius of the cylinder, and K and L are the conductivity and the length of the cylinder. But in case of sphere, the resistance is 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 divided by 4 pi K, where R1, R2 are the radius of the sphere, and K is equal to the wall material conductivity. The last one is convection. In that case, the resistance should be equal to 1 by HA, where H is equal to heat transfer coefficient and AS is equal to area of the surface of the convection. So the potential difference in electrical case should be equal to delta V, but in case of Cartesian conduction, in case of cylindrical conduction, in case of spherical conduction, and the last one is convection, in all cases the potential difference are delta T, delta T, delta T, and delta T. So we discuss in this case all the potential difference are delta T. So in today's slides we talk about the different types of conductivity and different types of electrical analogy in case of cylindrical, spherical, and convection. So thank you.